I want you guys to think back to 2010, the NFC Championship game, where Jay Cutler pedaled on the sidelines while Aaron Rodgers and his crew blew past us to go to the Super Bowl in our own house. I want you guys to think back to 2013, where in our own house, we had a chance to win the division and go to the playoffs for the first time in 3 years, but we blew a coverage to Randall Cobb on fourth down to lose in our own house. I want you guys to think back to when we were down 42-0 at halftime on national television. I want you guys to think of every single time that Aaron Rodgers and this team have dominated us, humiliated us, and I want you guys to realize that this upcoming game is going to be the revenge game for all those bad moments and all those bad memories. Yo, so what's up, Bears fans? I'm back again with the prediction videos, and guys, I cannot tell you how pumped up I am for this upcoming game. We got Week 15 against the Green Bay Packers at our house, Soldier Field, for a chance to clinch the NFC North for the first time since 2010, man. 2010, that's 8 years ago. We haven't went to the playoffs since then. We have a chance to go to the playoffs by winning a game against our most hated rivals at home. Man, you cannot ask for a better opportunity if you are the Chicago Bears. So in this video, I'm going to break down the matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to give you guys my opinions on the game, what I think the Bears have to do to win. And overall, I apologize if this video is going to be a little bit shorter or less analytical than usual because I don't have that much time to research or make this video because I have 3 finals this week, which I have to study for. Damn it. But all of you guys taking finals out there, best of luck to you. I wish you guys nothing but the best if you're in high school or college. But right now we're here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So let's talk a little bit about the Green Bay Packers first of all. So the Packers, by their standards, are having an absolutely terrible season. If you ask any of their fans, I mean, they're disappointed, they're crying, they're really mad because Packers fans expected to go to the Super Bowl this year, just like they do every single year. And man, Packers fans are very delusional because even I objectively looked at their roster, not just because I'm a Bears fan, but I looked at their roster and I saw so many holes before the beginning of the season. You can watch all my videos, in my prediction videos, I predicted that the Packers, they were not going to do well this season because their roster just does not have enough talents. I mean, you look at their roster, it's a really mediocre roster at best. Their defense ranks 16th based on yards. Their offense ranks 11th based on yards, but they're only 15th in scoring. So they haven't been able to put up points like they've been used to, and they're allowing, still big plays on defense. Their defense is better than last year, I think, but it's still, mediocre at best. It doesn't make any big plays. So overall, this is definitely not a playoff roster, and without Aaron Rodgers, it would not even be, winning 4 games in my opinion, because even though Aaron Rodgers has not had a very good season this year, based on his standards, he still only has 1 interception to, I think, how many? 27, 28 touchdowns? I'm not sure exactly, but he's still doing pretty good. But he's not, the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And, the Packers, they just fired Mike McCarthy recently, which I was just laughing at, man, because Mike McCarthy has killed us over the last couple of years. Like, he has one of the best records against a divisional opponent, I think, out of any coach. So I'm happy McCarthy is gone, but I kind of wish he stayed because he was kind of ruining the Packers with his bad play calling. So McCarthy is gone, Joe Philbin is in, and he did a pretty good job last week against the Falcons. The Packers had a big win, but the Falcons are not a very good football team. So let's not act like that win actually means something because, yeah, it was a good win, congratulations, but the Falcons are terrible, so it doesn't really prove anything about the Packers in my opinion. And overall, this is a very beatable team, but I'm still a little bit scared because Aaron Rodgers has always found a way to beat us no matter what our team has been like. But I really feel like this year, we're seeing a type of Bears team that we haven't seen in, decades. So this is a game that we can win, and let's get right into the 4 keys to a Bears victory. Alright, so key number 1 is going to be hit Rodgers hard and hit him often. I want our defensive line, I want our linebackers, I want whoever can get their hands on Aaron Rodgers to hit him as hard as you possibly can. And by doing this, I don't mean try to intentionally injure him because obviously I would never wish injury on anybody. I hope Aaron Rodgers is healthy for this game. I hope he stays healthy throughout the entire game because I respect him as a person, I respect him as a human being. But as a competitor, we have to make sure we do everything that we possibly can to hobble him, to make him scared, to make him, afraid of being hit. Because when Rodgers is being hit, when he can't, dance around the pocket, when he can't jump around and make his crazy throws, that's when Rodgers is not at his best, obviously. So if we can, hit him throughout the entire game, lay some big hits on him, put him down in his place, I really feel like Mack and the boys, they can really do that. They can accomplish that because this offensive line of the Packers, it's decent, but it's nowhere near like a top 5 offensive line. So, Mack can get some sacks. Akeem Hicks should get his hands on Aaron Rodgers. Some of our cornerbacks, if they blitz, they should get their hands on Aaron Rodgers. And doing this is going to make it so much easier for our secondary to defend against some of the crazy throws that he makes. Key number 2 is going to be that our defense has to dictate what Aaron Rodgers does and not the other way around. If you guys have been watching this rivalry over the last couple years, you guys should have noticed by now that whenever we play the Packers offense really dictates what our defense does because they've just been dominating our defense for so long. I mean, recently, obviously, our defense has been better, but still, Aaron Rodgers has always found a way to, control our defense, control what we do. Our defense has to react to him. It hasn't ever been the other way around, when in reality, it should have been. I think that now our defense has the ability, it has the talent, it has the scheme to really make Aaron Rodgers have to react to our defense and not the other way around. We should be able to control what Aaron Rodgers does. We should be able to control their offense, what plays they run, because we simply just have more talent than the Packers offense does. And I don't think their offense matches up very well against our defense right now, especially in Soldier Field. Obviously, the first game of the season, you saw they broke loose some big plays. But if we can just defend against the screen passes, those damn screen passes, the short routes, just tackle. I mean, honestly, if we can just tackle properly, we should be fine. Because other than that, there's really not anything else our defense has been bad at this year. So our defense really has to dictate what Aaron Rodgers does in this game. Key number 3 is going to be that we have to have a healthy mix of the run and the pass while we are on offense. Guys, Trubisky is coming off probably one of his worst games of the season. Obviously, I'm going to give him sort of a small pass because he was injured coming off 2 weeks rest, against a really tough team in the cold. So I'll give him a small pass for that. But Trubisky really needs to show up in this game because we're gonna need to be able to pass the ball effectively throughout the entire game. And like I said earlier, the Packers defense, it's not ranked really highly. It's 16th in total yards, but they do have some playmakers. A couple of them, the young ones like Jair Alexander, he's a really good cornerback, and Trubisky has to be careful of him. And more than that, he just has to not play safe, but don't make those really risky, dumb throws, because he's been doing that, in some games this season where, he makes a really bad read and he throws into double coverage, and it's obviously picked off. So Trubisky, he cannot do that. He has to use his legs, his mobility, and his arm to really, pick apart this Packers defense. But Matt Nagy also has to make sure that Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard are involved in this game as well, because obviously when both the run and the pass are working, our offense is going to be at our best. And this Packers defense hasn't really shown any signs of stopping Jordan Howard especially. So if we can pound the rock a little bit with Jordan Howard, but also get stuff going through the air, screen passes, shallow cross, deep shots, whatever you want to do. Matt Nagy's West Coast offense, it's very creative. So I'm sure if he can mix the run with the pass, we are going to have a lot of success. And finally, key number 4 is probably going to be the most important key, because key number 4 is that we have to let our past disappointments, our past anger, our past sadness fuel our play, fuel our energy on the field. And this goes to the players who are playing, the coaches who are calling plays, and the fans who are going to provide the noise at Soldier Field. So let's start with the players first of all, and this is pretty obvious that the players, they should be sick of losing to the Packers by now. I know a lot of them are new, like the large majority of our offense is new now. Players like Trey Burton, Allen Robinson, they don't know the taste of losing to the Packers over and over and over again. But they know their history, and they should know that the Packers have dominated us for a long time. And even if they haven't been on the team, they still were here for week 1 where we blew a 17-point lead to the Packers. So they should have a bad taste in their mouths from that. But the players that have been here for longer, like Sherrick McManus, I think he's the longest tenured Bear. You got players like Kyle Fuller who've been getting dominated by the Packers over and over again. You got players like, Jordan Howard has been here for a while, even Danny Trevathan as well. All of these players, I want them to use, I want them to remember, first of all the times that they have failed against the Packers and use that motivation, that past, disappointment as fuel, as motivation in their play on the field. The coaches also have to use the past disappointments, the past failures, as motivation, as fuel for their play calling. Matt Nagy, he hasn't been here for a while. He's only lost 1 game to the Packers, barely. But he should clearly remember how he helped blow a 17-point lead, to them on national television during the first week of the season. And that should definitely still leave a bad taste in his mouth, because that was the first game he coached after, blowing that lead with the Chiefs in the playoffs. So Matt Nagy, he should really use that, those moments where people are questioning him, questioning his play calling abilities, as motivation, as fuel for his play calling in this game. He should be calling plays to win the game. In the second half, don't go super conservative. Keep the pedal on the metal. Keep calling aggressive plays. Keep being the amazing coach that you are, and we're going to win this game. And same goes with Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio, he's seen Aaron Rodgers, pick apart some of his defenses sometimes. Not entirely, but he's pretty much won games against our defense, year after year. So Vic Fangio, he's a quiet guy, but he still has a lot of passion, a lot of motivation. So, use that past failure as motivation for your play calling in this game, and don't let up at all. And finally, the most important part about all of this is the fans, man. You guys have probably seen that commercial. It's such a dumb, stupid commercial. It pisses me off every single time I see it. But it's a commercial where Aaron Rodgers, he's walking into Soldier Field and he puts on a pair of headphones. And as soon as he does that, all the fans at Soldier Field, they become quiet. He can't feel them. He can't hear them. He can't see them. Us Bears fans, we have to make sure that he regrets making that commercial, because I want every single Bears fan in the building to be yelling at the top of his or her lungs and just make him feel our presence throughout the entire game, man. Don't let up whatsoever if you're going to this game. I want us to break records for sound level at Soldier Field. And it's definitely possible if every single person in the stadium is yelling, is cheering, is stomping the entire game. I want us to, you saw how Jared Goff, he was having trouble communicating with his coach, with his teammates, because it was so damn loud. And we have to show Aaron Rodgers that Soldier Field is not a place where you want to play anymore. It's a place where you will get booed, tormented. You're going to get, the crowd is going to be felt by you, because it's going to be loud the entire game. And we pretty much, our fans, we have a very passionate fan base. That's what I'm really proud about being a Bears fan, is that we're always so passionate. We've been following this team throughout all the bad years, throughout all the times where the Packers have dominated us. I can't tell how many of my friends I've had to, so many of my friends have made fun of me for being a Bears fan, because a lot of my friends are Packers fans. And I could never trash talk to any of my Packers friends, because the Bears never did anything. Well, use this, use all those past, feelings of anger, of dread, to fuel your cheering on the, in the stands. Be as loud as you possibly can. Make Aaron Rodgers feel your presence, and make them realize that Soldier Field is the hardest place to play in the NFL. And finally, let's get into my prediction for this game. And I actually have the Chicago Bears winning this game 32-14 in Soldier Field, starting a new era of Bears football because of their dominance. And, guys, I just don't see how this Packers team is going to beat us, man. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me, because it has in the past, especially week 1. So I'm not going to try to talk too much shit, because we still have to beat them. We still have to play hard, because it's never a guarantee. Playing against Aaron Rodgers, it's never a guarantee to win, especially if you're the Chicago Bears. So, it is still going to be tough. It might be tied, sometime in the second half, maybe even in the fourth quarter, but I really feel like our Bears are going to pull through and they're going to pull away in the end because we just have too much talent. I just think that with everything on the line, a chance to clinch the NFC North, and with all the anger, with all the hatred that we have of the Packers, it's all going to show up in this game, in our play on the field, and the fans are going to be loud and angry the entire time. I think it's going to be very hard for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. They'll score touchdowns. They'll score points for sure because, they have a very dominant offense. But, actually, I take that back. It's not very dominant, but Aaron Rodgers, he is a pretty dominant player. And the MVP for this game I actually have being Kyle Fuller. Yeah, that's right. A guy who has struggled a lot against the Packers in his career. Week 1, he drops that easy pick that would have won the game for us. I really feel like he's the Bear that has the most to prove, and he will show up in this game. I have him getting a pick. He's going to pick Aaron Rodgers off, maybe even twice. You never know. He's going to have a very solid day. Otherwise he's going to obviously make good tackles. He's going to have a bunch of pass deflections. He's not going to allow any player. He's not going to allow Devontae Adams to run behind him. And, overall, he's going to have a solid day, as will the rest of our defense and our entire team. So that's going to wrap up my video. As always, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about the game, what your predictions are, if you agree with mine, who you think the MVP is going to be, and so on. So this is not a must-win by any means, because even if we lose this game, we still have a very good shot to make the playoffs, and I think we will, even if we lose. But, man, we better not lose this game, because this is the biggest chance, this is the biggest opportunity we have had against the Packers in so damn long. We have a chance to clinch the division at home against them. You cannot ask for a better opportunity to clinch the division. So, and guys, I'm just so damn sick of losing to the Packers. Like, year after year after year, they have provided me and other Bears fans with heartbreak, with anger, every single game. And, it's time for a change. We have to take the crown back. Their run of dominance is over now. And we're going to win, and we're going to dominate them at home to win the NFC North and make the playoffs for the first time since 2010. 10-4, let's get it. Bear down.